Something that's almost always true is that if we knew how hard it was going to be when we started, we probably wouldn't start. There's a little bit of naivety and ignorance that comes with most great projects. It's also true that often we can't compete with the top level of whatever our profession is. For example, I wanted to make videos every week. I knew that I could not compete with the top YouTubers who spend all of their time making videos, or the top TV stations that spend all of their time making content. I just wanted to do this for a couple hours a week and make a video every week. And it was just me and my friend Peter. And thanks, Peter, for all of the edits. They have made these videos so much better. The amount of stumbling I do because I don't have a script is pretty phenomenal. And even through my initial edits, there's no way they would be as good without Peter's help on the edits, the special effects, and of course the intro and outro. But we knew what we were getting ourselves into. When you really don't know what you're doing, it's really hard to judge what that's going to look like. And some people have completely unrealistic expectations. Several times over the last few years, someone has come to me and asked, what would it take to create an This American Life or Radiolab type podcast? Now, if you don't know much about podcasts and This American Life and Radiolab, which are actually public radio shows, it would be the equivalent of asking someone to create an HBO show from scratch. Instead of laughing at these people, I came up with an analogy, and that is you need to think of these enterprises as if you were building a boat to cross a lake. And now on my own, with the time that I allot to these videos, or I could allot to a podcast, I could probably go buy some pool noodles and some duct tape them together, put somebody on the boat, and then just kick my way across the lake and hope my legs didn't give out. Luckily, I do have some experience in these areas, so with the help of someone like Peter or other people, I even might be able to make a rowboat. Radiolab and This American Life are like yachts or ferries across the lake. It takes people with years of experience and technical know-how working together to get this thing across the lake. And this is just for a 40-minute trip. Not to mention that if you want it to actually be a good boat, then you have to have the experience of telling these stories over and over again. There was a time not too long ago where there were like 7 people that knew how to do this really well, and they all worked at a few places, these public radio stations. Now with the boom of podcasts, that number is expanding, but it's still such a small percentage of the population. You can't really do it by yourself unless you're okay making a lot of short things or just a few episodes a year. At that point, it's better to know exactly what you're getting yourself into, how much money, time, and expertise it's going to take, and it's better to start paddling now, because if you end up with just a rowboat, that is a large chasm to cross if you're hoping to have any relevancy in the podcast space or the YouTube space. So if that's your goal, all I can really say is happy sailing.